Hi there, it's Tim, and today I'm super excited. Vmax has sent me another electric scooter. So plan of attack, quick unbox, and then we're out the door. I'm gonna give you a full review, tell you what I like and what I dislike about this new Swiss designed scooter. And behold, the VX2 Hub. Very nice charging brick, 3.5 amps. That's powerful. They sent me a thermos. I love these little water bottles. So you basically pop it out and it's ready to go. I'm gonna have to put 4 screws into the stem here, but I'm just gonna peel this off and reveal. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And with the magic of editing, I'm outside in the park, Michael behind the camera, the VX2 Hub in front of me. So as I mentioned, it's the Vmax VX2 Hub. Did I mention that? It is the Vmax VX2 Hub, and it's got some amazing little treats for us to explore. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some broad strokes. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna ride around Victoria. We're gonna take it up the hill of death, because even though it's only got a 500 watt motor at the back, it peaks out at a whopping 1900 watts. It's got suspension at the front. Nice. I like suspension at the front. And it's got something called elastomeric suspension at the back. I think that's like a piece of rubber that you kind of compresses when you go up and down bumps. But I'm finding the ride's actually really quite enjoyable. This VX2 lineup with the added suspension, I think that's a winner. It's got a whole bunch of things, as I mentioned before, that I think are going to be really of interest to you. And we'll explore those as we whip around Victoria. Next up, down by the ocean, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the brakes and the display coming up next. I do want to say a very special thank you to Vmax for sending me another one of their electric scooters and a little water bottle too. Thanks, Vmax. I gotta say, the scammy thing here is so helpful. I mean, I think if you're buying one of these and that's the first thing you see on this display, this is a 3.5 inch full color TFT display, I think is the term. And I'm in eco right now on the grass. Oh, thank you, sir. I did not have my helmet on, so let's put the helmet on. Safety first, as they say. Safety first.
Nope.
Go to sport mode just for the grass part. Give us some extra boost. Look at this power. Isn't that amazing for a 500 watt motor? Go around through these cobra chickens. Off the curb edge. Integrated bell, which I really like. One of the things I really like about Vmax are the handlebars themselves. I'm not sure if you can see that right now, but I hope you can. They're nice rubbery, they feel good in the hands, feels really solid when I'm on there. This suspension is actually quite lovely.
Oh yes, it's lovely.
It's not bouncy, but it's quite lovely.
Oh yes, it's lovely.
Oh, and there's the cruise control. That's lovely.
Oh yes, it's lovely.
Oh, I love cruise control, regen braking. This is lovely.
Handsome, lovely.
One thing I do want to share with you is the display is beautiful. Even on this beautiful sunny day, it's got a 3.5 inch TFT LCD screen. It's full color. It shows me everything. And the beautiful thing with the Vmax is you don't have to have the app installed to control absolutely everything. You can switch it to metric if you want to be, or switch it over to imperial. You can, check your distance. There's a whole bunch of things. There are a couple extra things on the app itself with regards to maps and things like that. You can plan routes and things of that nature, which is kind of handy. At the front though, let's talk about the braking system. The brakes are phenomenal. I'm really liking these brakes. We've got a drum brake at the front, which I'm a big fan of drum brakes. I just think, especially for somebody who's using this as a commuter, very little maintenance to be done on a drum brake. At the back, what they've done is they put a mechanical brake at the back, and they've synced it up with regen. So what that means is, as soon as I hit that rear brake, what happens is, if I need the extra power of the mechanical brake, it kicks in, like if I press it down really strong. But if I don't, if I just give it a little bit, I can feel that regenerative braking kicking back in, energy back into the battery. What I really love about the regen braking, it just makes it so much smoother. I know that, you know, drum brakes can be quite smooth, and even, you know, finely tuned mechanical brakes can be really smooth. But regenerative braking, it's the way to go. It just feels like an extension of yourself as you're riding and cruising around town. Loving this little extra little bell here. I love these integrated bells. And here's one of the little cute little things. Underneath here is a little USB port. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't tell you over the years how many times the USB port has been a USB-A. It's 2025. Nobody needs a USB-A port anymore. And so what Vmax did here, it's a USB-C, which means if you've got a cell phone, any modern cell phone, typically they're all USB-C, which means if you're running a little bit low on juice and you've got a cord, plug it in, you get your power. Today it actually helped me, because usually what I do is I will bring a little power supply with me with a USB-C plug, so I can charge up phones, microphones, GoPros, 360s. Michael's got a whole plethora of equipment out there. And I just thought, you know what, isn't that lovely? Any USB-C, click. And I know I'm going on and on about this, but I just think that's like forward thinking, and they're listening to their they're listening to their customer base, not their camera base. Anywho, next up, what we're gonna do, the hill of death. Let's see if this little 500 watt motor, peaking out at 1900 watts, can make it up the hill of death. Coming up next. I think that worked out really well.
Yes, absolutely. So
Take 57. The VX2 Hub comes in two configurations from the battery. Now, I may have mentioned earlier, but I may not have, that it's a 48 volt system, but it does come in two battery sizes. One is a 13 amp hour, the other is 18.2. 13 amp hour is plenty of range. You're gonna get lots of range with that, but 18.2, I mean, that's an extra 5.2 amp hours. I'm not even looking at my battery levels. Right now it's at 91%, and we've been riding around all morning. So, you know, it's gonna give you range for days. Let's talk about one of the most important things, and that is lighting. I'm going to start showing off at the very front here. We do have a light at the front, and what's really nice with the light is you can turn it on, turn it off, or you can just put it on auto as well. So it's entirely up to you with what you would like and how you'd like it to be on or off or auto. So that's kind of nice.
the light's on. Oh, there we go.
There we go. And that was just me pressing the button wrong. I'll get used to that later on. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but there is also the option you can turn on cruise control. That just makes my life simpler. I just really like cruise control. Anyway, I digress. The next thing, of course, are the indicators. I love the fact that manufacturers are giving the indicators a little bit more sort of focus, if you like. It allows me to feel comfortable and confident that those around me know that I'm going to be turning left or right. And the fact that they've got the lights down on the deck down here as well, I mean, that just makes so much sense. But what the other thing is, you can probably hear it right now, I've just switched it. There's an actual physical switch on the handlebars. So that means I know for sure when I'm finished my indication or finished my turn, I can just turn it off. And that gives me that tactile response that I really appreciate that. There's nothing worse than, is it still on? Is it not on? I can hear it, plus I can feel it. So that gives me a little bit of extra confidence. Anywho, next up, as I mentioned before, is the hill of death. And that's just over there. So let's go turn it on. We'll put it into sport mode, and we'll see if this puppy will get up the hill of death. The hill of death. Good. Almost. Oh, darn.
Yeah, the Ace Pro. Well, you know, until the camera had its first drop, it's not a real camera yet.
If you've watched any of my videos, you will know that I don't typically do speed tests because I got to this age by not doing speed tests. But it's only a 500 watt motor, so I'm just kind of curious as to how fast it will go. And we've got the straightaway over here. Now, I will mention that with this 500 watt motor, it's got a max weight, the whole frame, including everything, of about 285 pounds. Now, if you want to absolutely know, I happen to have just started about a month or so ago a little tiny vlog where I actually post every day about a 1-minute video on my weight loss journey. I'll put a link to that down below. But it happens to be today I'm 278, so my weight is coming down. And so what I would be curious to know is how fast I can actually go on this thing. I'll put the safety first helmet on for sure, and I'll just do a quick speed run and share with you how fast does the VX2 Hub go in sport mode. Coming up now. All right, we're gonna hopefully fly past Michael here.
Okay, let's go.
Wow, 30 miles an hour. $33 miles an hour. So remember before I mentioned a couple of really quirky, interesting, cool little items with regards to the VX2 Hub, and that is, well, first one was the USB-C. Love that. But check out this folding mechanism. Easy, simple, straightforward. And then you get to the back here, you put it in position, and then there's a quick release, and it snaps in position. And now, I think it's about 57 pounds. So you can pick that up and walk away with it, no problems. And putting it back down again, up, and just snap that into place again. That's the first time I've ever seen a that's the first time I've ever seen a folding mechanism with that as a design. That is really kind of neat. I like that. Spring loaded, ready to rock and roll. And when it's not being used, it's flush with the deck. I did mention, I'm not sure if I did mention, but I should have mentioned, the deck itself, it gets a little bit dirty and dusty, but it's got that rubbery feel. So as soon as you get on it, you're stuck on there. I love it. It's really, really nice. And what's really cool about the deck as well is that the angle at the back, it's kind of a nice position for your heel to go up if you want to brace yourself for some acceleration. But it also houses the charging port as well on your left-hand side. So the charging port, I haven't seen many charging ports up there like that, but it kind of makes sense, right? Because it is IPX6, which means that if it is going to rain, you're fine on this device. Anywho, let's do a complete closeout, and I can share with you what I like and what I don't like about the VX2 Hub coming up next. So here we are in just comparing the two. We've got the app on the right. It's a lovely app. Click on the dashboard. It's giving me the same information that you're getting over here. We can change the sport mode here, and we can go down to eco mode if we would like. The same thing on this side. I can just press eco mode or sport mode on the button over there. I can turn the lights on and off. I can go into the actual settings. I can look at the trips, how far I've been today. I've ridden around 15 kilometers so far. It gives me an average speed. The settings themselves, I can go into my account, I can go into the system, I can adjust whether I want to be a metric, all the basic things. And the same thing on this side here on the app, on the actual dash itself, on the main display over here. You know, I can press and hold this, and it will go into the user settings, and with the arrows over here I can go through and do the personalization this way as well. So pretty much exactly the same thing on both. I gotta say the app is kind of handy. It's kind of nice to have, but you don't have to have it, so that's kind of nice too. Alrighty, Michael, we've just got ourselves a little bit of breakfast here. A little late in the day. Michael, word of the day on the Vmax VX2 Hub
is evolved.
Evolved. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, it seems like everything that we've talked about with other scooters, you know, it would be good if it had this or if it had that. This model seems to have included all of those features that we've talked about. You know, the turn signals that are visible, you know, the regenerative braking, although it's a hybrid system. So you may have more thoughts on that. But and the nice display, clear display. It seems like the scooter has evolved into something that, yeah, people would be comfortable to use and wouldn't feel the need to have to do an add-on like Eric did with his.
Love it. Love it. Thanks, Michael. The word is evolved. Now we get to eat. All right, it's Future Tim here. It's the evening. I've been riding around. I've been riding all over the city on the Vmax. VX2 Hub, and I just wanted to follow up on a couple of things. First of all, from a full charge, I've got about 40% more battery. Let me just show you, 37%. Yeah, 37% more. Voltage is 46.6. I've done about 20 miles. That puts me at about, what's that, like 32 kilometers, 30 kilometers, no problems. I figure based on that I'm going to be able to get around 40, 45 kilometers without any problems with the 18, with the larger battery, the 18.2 amp hour battery. So, I mean, I think that's really pretty astonishing. The other thing I'm noticing is that the lighting is really nice, especially in the early evening. The indicator is amazing. Let me just show you here. Look how bright that is. And just riding around and hitting all the bumps and hitting all the potholes in particular, the suspension is just eating them up. So that coupled with the 10-inch tires, which are air-filled, and it's just, you know what, it's absolutely super, super lovely to ride around. And I think I'm going to keep riding this thing around here for the next week or so because I'm just really enjoying that. Anyway, back to the video. So I'm not sure if you could tell, but with my enthusiasm throughout the filming of this video with Michael, first of all, Michael, thank you very much indeed for filming today. The VX2 Hub is amazing. I absolutely love it. Are there any things that I don't like about it? Is there anything that I'm not a fan of? I don't think so. I mean, I would kind of like to have a separate sort of thumb throttle for the regen braking, but the fact that it's coupled with the actual brake itself, I think it's actually might even be safer. It's just, it's also what you're accustomed to, and I happen to be accustomed to riding around with just using regen all the time. It's a very, very solid commuter scooter. If you're looking for something to get you from A to B, and it's really quite comfortable, plenty of range, there's plenty of power. If you have some steep hills, these new Vmaxes are amazing. Like that steep, I'm pretty sure I could have stood at the bottom and just ridden straight up that side of that the hill of death. I'm loving the lighting. I'm loving things like the indicators. I'm loving the lights at the front. I like the display. The app works really well. The bell's kind of nice. The USB-C. Finally, I love the fact that scooter companies now are giving us what I think we actually need and want. So this is 100% Big Guy approved. Big Guy approved. Yep, that works.